specialties that you're going to be taking from the courses that you've learned so far?
Yes. So I've done a lot of the single day training courses through CUPE already. And one of the most valuable things is speaking and discussing events and experiences with the other participants.
And I would love to see more members get involved with anything, whether it's start out on a small committee. We want to see,
Can you tell us a little bit about what you've learned here this week?
It's a great learning experience, and as long as I've been around and involved, I'm still learning.
This is Iris Lloyd, President of CUPE New Brunswick.
I'm Chris Watson, President of the New Brunswick Federation of Labour.
Hi, my name is Brian Watson, former President of CUPE New Brunswick.
Wes Wills, Local 380 Vice President.
I'm Shelby Dodge, President of Local 3226.
Karen Tier, President of the New Brunswick Council of Nursing Home Unions.
I'm Jamie Agnew, and I'm the President of CUPE Local 963. Representing New Brunswick Liquor Store, retail, and warehouse workers.
I'm Sherry Hillier, President of CUPE Newfoundland and Labrador, and General Vice President for the Atlantic Maritimes.
I'm Cheryl Ann Keown, and I also sit on Local 805.
Quay, hello. This is Kathy Johnson, President of CUPE 5446.
Hi, my name is Dorinda Smith. I'm from Local 813.
I'm Teresa McAllister, Provincial President of CUPE 2745 Educational Support Staff.
Bonjour, ici Alain Soucy, membre du SCFP, Syndicat canadien de la fonction publique.
Hey everyone, this is Candice Rennick, CUPE's National Secretary Treasurer.
Hey, this is Mark Hancock, CUPE National President.
And I'm Nicholas Lund, and you are listening to The Members' Voice. Coming to you all the way from the CUPE 813 office, and I am joined here with Wes Wills, Chris Watson, and this is The Members' Voice, the brand new show. Is everything okay?
Something different here. What happened?
Something is different. I don't know.
Am I in the right office?
Something seems weird.
I gotta go check.
I am Nick, joined alongside the Federation of Labor President here for New Brunswick, Chris Watson. Chris, welcome back.
Yes, thank you. It's nice to be over here in the office and actually have us all together. And I'm just going to point it out because it's just got to be said. What's different? No backdrops.
No backdrops. New ones coming soon to an office near you here. And joined alongside my good friend and the Vice President of CUPE Local 380, Wes Wills. Wes, welcome back.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
I don't know what I'd do without you guys. This show runs so smoothly. Well, now it does. Prior, not so much. There's a whole lot that's been going on in the labor movement over the last couple of weeks. This is always a great spot for it to all be covered.
Let's talk about it. Strike in Nova Scotia.
You know what? That's worth talking about because it's probably one of the biggest things that have happened. And of course, Chris, you were quite excited when this news dropped.
Yeah, it's always exciting when you see a group that has stuck together as long as these members have to get to that point where they reach a tentative agreement. It just shows that the solidarity amongst the labor movement and amongst the long-term care workers stood the test.
Yeah, absolutely. And Wes, you and I sat here 2 weeks ago and did a huge show on this and then aired a lot of the footage last week. So how shocked were you when this news came out?
Shocked. Wasn't really shocked. I was elated to hear that they actually reached a tentative agreement. To see that the government in Nova Scotia finally decided to sit down and talk, which is at the end of the day, communication is key. And Chris, you've been involved in bargaining like this and negotiations. It's always good when our brothers and sisters in different provinces reach an agreement.
Well, and that's just it, right? I mean, nobody wants to go on strike, right? When you go on strike, it's one of those last resort things because everything's broken down. And then when you've got a government that doesn't even want to sit down and work out the issue, that's when you really have a problem.
That's right.
Because the only way you're going to get it rectified is to sit down and negotiate. That's why they call it negotiations, right? If you're not negotiating or you're not willing to negotiate, then you're not keeping up to the end of the bargain on the way things are supposed to work. So it's finally, like you said, it's good to see that the Nova Scotia government came to its senses, sat down and worked out a deal that hopefully is good for everyone.
June 6th will definitely go down in history for CUPE Nova Scotia as the day that something was done, something that was deserving to the members, and I couldn't be happier. I think that it is long overdue and well deserved. So, hopefully whatever comes of this is going to be the best and positive, and moving forward, people will understand just how important long-term care is.
Definitely.
Yeah, and hopefully, that the government realizes that, when you take on a group such as the long-term care workers, that you're not just taking on the group of the long-term care workers, you're taking on 800,000 across Canada. And that was shown right from the videos that we were able to get here from CUPE, from the long-term care workers here in New Brunswick, showing that solidarity to our national president and secretary treasurer coming down, ourselves showing support as a Federation of Labor over here in New Brunswick, and so they're taking on a whole labor movement. So think twice next time. Come on, we could have avoided this.
And hats off to the Members' Voice co-host Matthew MacDonald, who strongly covered this from I'll say day one, because he was doing interviews, he was on those picket lines, he was reaching out to people, he was talking with Mark and Candace. He really kept up with this to make sure that all the people here in Atlantic Canada and all across the country, for that matter, were up to date with what was going on. So again, solidarity, Matt. Thank you for doing your part, and we were happy to do ours. And like always, that's why we make such a great team.
Yeah, thank you, brother. We appreciate that. It's always nice to have boots on the ground when the action's going on. So
that's true. Yes, thank you, Matt. Appreciate all your hard work, brother.
Now, they went back to work yesterday, right? Today's Tuesday. They went back yesterday. So, I'm sure that a lot of those seniors, a lot of the elderly were so excited to see them. I think that we're moving in the right direction. Took a little longer than I would have liked, but we're moving in the right direction.
Yeah, and you got to recognize too that when you got long-term care workers, that they are not just workers, right? They become like family to those residents. A picture come up the other day when there was issues over here in New Brunswick, and it was actually the last picture that my dad and myself actually got with my grandmother, and she was in a nursing home here in St. John, and we were in talking to her, and we were talking about potential picket lines and everything going on. And I remember her telling us at that time that we needed to get out there and fight like hell for those workers, because those workers are the ones that fight like hell for her on the inside. So, the residents know what it's like, and they understand, and same with a lot of the families support as well, because they know just what the long-term care workers bring to the table for those residents.
It's true.
They bring a lot.
They do. And they're just like, they almost become like part of the family for the seniors, and that they really do.
I agree 100% with that. Now, I really think we need to talk about something that you both have been a part of. Chris, you for a very long time. Wes, you brand new last year. And that is you know what? Why don't we very quickly welcome Mr. CUPE Nova Scotia's own and the Members' Voice co-host of Nova Scotia, Matthew MacDonald, to the show. Matt, we were just talking about the huge news. Why don't you talk a little bit about it?
Absolutely, yeah. Sorry, I'm a little late here. As you know, I just kind of made a move and there's no Wi-Fi in my new house yet. So I'm just signed in on my phone here. Hopefully the video and the audio is coming through okay. Yeah, the big news is the tentative agreement for workers here in Nova Scotia, which is good news. I mean, it hasn't been ratified yet, so we're waiting on that. But it was. I remember hearing that they reached it, and I was like, "Wow!" I didn't realize that they were negotiating at that time. But apparently, there had been a 12-hour marathon session, and that Candace and Mark had played a big role in that as well. So, interesting times for sure.
So everyone's back to work. Is that what I'm hearing? They went back on Monday, though?
I'm hearing, so it's a bit more complicated than that because there's so many different locals involved and so many different like homes. So the return to work is kind of a work in progress, but yeah, that's something that's going to be happening in short order here for sure.
Well, that's great news, though, brother, and you have to be thrilled.
Yeah, I am. I'm thrilled for the workers because that's 8 weeks on the picket line. That was a grind for a lot of these folks. It was really hard on them. And kudos to them for sticking it out for as long as they did and for standing their ground and not giving in. The government tried a bunch of tactics, misleading the public and making false statements and just kind of being being greasy, I guess is the term that comes to mind for me. Uh, but they stood strong, and so it must feel good for them to know that fingers crossed after it gets ratified that the end is near.
See, and that's one of the good things when government tries to put out false information. Members have platforms like the Members' Voice to get the facts.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, absolutely. You're right. Yeah, 100%.
Prior to you calling in, we were actually just putting you over like you were $1 million bills. So that was just luck. Did you happen to catch any of that?
I didn't at all. No, sorry. Still.
Say it again.
No, I said, I know I will say it again to you because, the Members' Voice is only as strong as we make it. And the hard work and dedication that you put
I agree with you
on when you were on those picket lines or at those rallies, covering all the stories, the interviews, it's a huge thank you to you for taking that head on like you did, and we couldn't be happier. And we just want to say thank you for being a part of our team and making sure that those workers had a voice, and you were right there.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. A bit of a connection issue there, but I think it might have corrected itself. I got most of what you said, Nick, and you're welcome. And I love being a part of this, and I'm looking forward to continuing on with you guys and growing the Members' Voice. I really like the new logo up here, too. Looks good.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to have things done and sent to you. And, that same goes for Nana and Michaela. We're getting everything together. And, we're making the transition. It's been a very, very easy transition. So far, so good.
Yeah, that's great. I feel like it's going to be something that pushes your brand forward and kind of expands your audience. I think it's just going to be a good thing overall for this podcast. Absolutely.
Well, it's not mine. It's ours. Yours too. It's not
mine.
Yeah.
I stand corrected.
Yeah, that's right. This is ours. So, Matt, are you hanging around for the show? Are you going to stick
I'll hang around for a little bit. I did promise I'd move some more boxes up to the attic, so this is a break for me to sit here and talk to you guys for a few minutes. But I will have to get back to that eventually.
Well, I want to take a quick break, and then when we come back, before we get into the Blair Doucet camp, I will actually take a shortcut, and we're going to talk a little bit about what's happening in Nova Scotia in the fall. So why don't you hang tight, and when we come back, before you go, we'll talk a little bit about that.
Sure, sounds good.
All right, brother.
Solidarity. Strength in numbers. The power of the labor movement. Higgins Insurance is proud to support workers and stand with you. As the official sponsor of the Members' Voice Show, we are committed to our community. Call 1-866-273-2911 or visit higginsinsurance.ca for your free quote.
Higgins Insurance est fier de commanditer l'émission La Voix des membres. Solidaire avec vous, nous soutenons les travailleurs et le mouvement syndical. Visitez le www.higginsinsurance.ca ou appelez-nous au 1-866-263-2911. Obtenez votre soumission gratuite dès aujourd'hui. Higgins Insurance, au service du Canada Atlantique.
Looking for something bold, something custom, something built with real craftsmanship and a whole lot of personality? Then you need Charred Oak Designs, St. John's homegrown creators of handcrafted woodwork that turns everyday spaces into something unforgettable. Charred Oak Designs brings creativity into spray to every project. Whether it's for your home, your workplace, your union hall, or that perfect personalized gift, they take your idea and turn it into something you'll be proud to show off. Every piece is crafted with care, built to last, and finished with that signature charred oak touch. The kind of quality you only get when real people put real heart into their work. If you want something unique, something meaningful, something that stands out, you want Charred Oak Designs.
Vous cherchez quelque chose d'audacieux, de personnalisé. Quelque chose fait avec un vrai savoir-faire et beaucoup de personnalité. Alors vous avez besoin de Charred Oak Designs, les créateurs locaux de Saint-John d'œuvres en bois artisanal qui transforment les espaces ordinaires en quelque chose d'inoubliable. Des enseignes personnalisées aux pièces uniques qui racontent votre histoire. Ils prennent votre idée et la transforment en quelque chose dont vous serez fier. Vous voulez Charred Oak Designs, commanditaire officiel de The Members' Voice Show.
And we are back, and as people can probably see, Matt is not with us right now. I'm not sure why, but that's okay. We're still here.
It's in the middle of moving. That's a lot of boxes to move.
You know what? It is a lot of boxes.
It's not fun, trust me.
If we were in Nova Scotia, though, we'd definitely help, though, wouldn't we?
We would.
Yes.
Yes.
I'd be a great foreman.
No.
You know what? That's enough. Be nice to
I'll
me.
say something nice. Your hair looks lovely tonight.
I have done something different with it. Now,
okay.
So since Matt is gone, everyone's like, where'd Matt go? So since Matt has disappeared, because let's just be honest, his internet's probably a little scratchy and he is moving. And he did make a promise, so he probably wants to see it through, and I appreciate that. Mm-hmm. So, as I said earlier, the Blair Doucet camp, a camp that is held very near and dear to many people's hearts.
It's called the Crown Jewel of the Federation.
The Crown Jewel of the Federation. Now, I want to play a little audio or a little clip that, oh no, I took it off, didn't I? I did take it off. I'm going to play the other clip for you. And just to give context to what it is that the Blair Doucet camp is, Chris, could you tell some of the members' voice?
So what the Blair Doucet camp is a camp that was started, obviously, by former president, past president, Blair Doucet. Blair had a vision where you could create a camp and you could teach kids all about their rights. You could teach them all about health and safety, teach them about political and making your voice count, all about social justice and just what the labor movement is in general. What is a union? And when the kids come, I'll tell you, they're local 0001, and they have their own collective agreement. And it used to, in the past, it used to be negotiated for the kids coming up in the next year. So there's a number of articles in there. And what they do is they come, they participate, they learn all these different things. But we also do fun activities. Historically, in the past, where it was in Moncton, we did Magic Mountain and all that stuff. You should have seen Wes get on the kamikaze, just like a bullet. But anyway.
Did you go down in kamikaze?
I was resting on the beach chair, so
I did the kamikaze. Then my back hurt. But anyway, that's besides the point.
He's younger than I am, so
But the camp
you didn't.
Nope.
Okay.
I did. But anyway, no. But this camp, in all seriousness, it's an amazing camp. It's exclusive to the delegates of the Federation of Labor, so you have to be an affiliate. And it's always in the first week of August. And at this camp as well, this camp is 100% free to all the affiliates' children, grades 9 through 12. And upon completion of the camp, too, for each year that they participate, they also get a $250 scholarship.
Oh, wow.
Towards their education. And what that was to offset was, if a kid has a summertime job. So that was to also, to help them with the remuneration, I guess, of funds that they would miss to attend. But this camp is something that's gone on for over 20 years. And it just keeps getting bigger and better. And I tell you, I've seen a lot of kids come through. Just recently, when I was attending 1418's AGM, there was one of the alumni from the camp. And I'll say this too, so they actually elect their own executive. And they have their president, vice president, shop steward, health and safety officer, and a recording secretary. And I ran into one of the, executive members from the camp, and who now sits on the executive for the 1418 for the subunit in the St. John area and all that. So, seeing them go from something like this to actually, utilizing what they've learned as a labor movement and put it to use is something that's huge. And, they don't have to go into the labor movement. That's not, the be all end all, obviously be like that. But it just, it gives them an understanding of why it is, that the people in their lives, mom, dad, whoever, belongs, it shows them this is why we do what we do. And I tell you, they come in, you saw it, Wes.
Yep.
They come in the first day, scared out of their wits. They don't know what to expect. And at the end of the week, they're in tears because they got to go home.
It definitely, last year when you asked me to participate in, last year was my first sort of experience being involved in this camp. And I was nervous at first. But again, like you said, the kids, some of them were absolutely terrified. But by the end of the week, you wouldn't even know it because they were having so much fun and being involved in this camp. Gaining knowledge and experience from members like yourself, and may I say, like Serge Landry was there, and Paula Doucet. So it was a wonderful experience. And if there are any affiliates listening tonight with their children in that age range, grades 9 through 12, who'd be interested, please sign up. It would be a great experience for them.
Absolutely. We like to have around 20 children. Right now we're around 14, so there's still room. So, those that are affiliated with the New Brunswick Federation of Labor and you're unsure about it, sign them up. Give it a try. Even if they're a little shy and maybe don't want to, let me tell you, it'll probably be one of the best weeks of their summer.
Yeah. Well, I want to ask Wes what your thoughts were your first initial thoughts walking into something that, yes, you're an adult, but it's still the complete unknown, and having an idea of the camp. But what was that like for you?
It was definitely an experience. Again, a little bit out of my comfort zone, but over the years, being in the role that I am within our local, you become more comfortable with how you interact with people and interacting with these kids, these young potentially someday unionists. It was a really great experience, and I'm looking forward, if I can get permission from my wife, to be attending this year too.
Can I go to camp?
Can I go to camp this summer? No, I was asked by Brother Watson here to do it, and I'm looking forward to it. So hopefully, if you're watching, Sal, please say yes.
Well, we are going to go back to it because I want to show some videos. But while we got Matt here, I do want to talk a little bit about the upcoming stuff that's going to be going on this fall. Matt, are you with me? So, would you? Matt's not with me. Matt, check back with me when you have time. We'll see if we can get you back on here. So, did you guys want to hear that video for?
You know what? That's the good thing about technology. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
That's right.
But you know what? We pivot.
We can pivot. We can pivot all day long. Now, this first scene is a bunch of kids, and it looks like they're protesting. Tell me what they're doing before I air it for the people.
So this was not last year's camp. This was the camp that took place just before COVID happened. And one thing you're going to notice somebody in the video in this, and that's Brother Danny Legier. And this was Danny's last camp as well. Danny always played a big part at the camp. He used to come when he was the president for CUPE New Brunswick and always conduct the elections. And then obviously as Federation of Labor president, you'll see him in this video. He showed up and helped the children out. So what we had done, because normally in my past roles, when I was the vice president for young workers, I was their union rep. And when there would be a violation of the contract or anything like that, they would come to me and, you would do union rep work.
That's really cool.
So, but this year in this camp, I was actually got to play the role of management.
Pathetic. Get away from me.
Listen, and you heard me say that they have a contract.
Yeah.
Right. And one of the stipulations is there's a bedtime. Right. There's the lights out, and there's specific articles that talk to that. And let's just say that, when lights are supposed to be out by a certain time, management goes around and checks a little bit afterwards. And, there was a few participants that decided that they wanted to violate the collective agreement. So what I went down and did is I don't want to give away my tricks here, but I'm going to. I went down and I told them that we had a lost key, and because every kid has a key, I said we had a lost key on campus. And in order to determine at the security office which key it was, I needed to collect all the kids' keys so that we can go figure out whose it is. And once the kids all gave me their keys, I went back up to the dormitory and put caution tape on the doors, and I locked them out for violation of the contract. And I said, you know what? And I said, I had enough, and we locked them out.
Micromanaging.
So they were completely locked out, and now they needed to sit down with their rep. And I think it might have been Jessica McLeave at the time. Who was the vice president for young workers coming out of 1190 at the time. And they needed to sit down with her, and they needed to figure out how to come and deal with management to make a resolution on it. But in the video, they didn't know what to do. So in the meantime, they called Danny Legier as the Federation of Labor president, and they said, Danny, we need help. And this is what took place.
That is some great stuff. Okay, and we're going to talk about it in a moment. But now Matt's back for the third time, and the third time's always a charm. Matt, welcome back. And Matt's gone. Hey, you know what? You can only do what you can do.
That's right.
We just got to pivot again. So, let's talk a little bit about like how I don't think you're a very nice manager.
You know what though? Those children, I say children, right? They're young adults. So those young adults and that you saw right there.
Yep.
One at the beginning, they didn't know what the hell to do, but you saw them. They were organized. They collectively got together, rallied, and then they got their messaging out. And actually, you know what's really funny about that too is there were people going by and thought that the university was on strike because they were outside chanting and picketing, and which was hilarious. There was actually people like that. You know, you can come and stay and everything else. And yeah, they thought everybody was on strike, but they came and they met with management and they admitted fault and they were willing to take accountability and they negotiated. They said, look at, for the next night, tomorrow night, they said, we'll go to bed a little bit earlier. And management, said, yeah, sure. End of the week, we're tired. That's a good deal.
Yeah.
So we took the deal, but it was to teach them that, just because you're working and everything's hunky-dory, management can all of a sudden turn around and lock you out of the workplace. And then all of a sudden you got a whole situation that you got to deal with. And the main thing was for them to come collectively together to rectify the situation, which they did.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, Blair Doucet, he showed up. And that's when you realized you were in trouble.
Absolutely, right. And by that, I mean, just saying like the whole camp. And that's kind of what Blair's vision, I would like to think would have been is, when they all come together like that, like we said, they come in at the beginning of the week, nobody, they're sticking together, over here by themselves and they're really shy. But as you saw in that video, they came together and they made noise and they demanded, what do we want? Negotiate. When do we want it? Now. Like they understood the assignment.
No, I thought it was great. I really did. All right, Matt, are you with me?
I can hear you. Sorry. I keep going around trying to find a place where I can maintain a signal here.
I've noticed you've changed scenery like 9 times now, which is great. It's great. You're doing your best.
It seems like it's working so far here. Fingers crossed.
Well, we're going to try this. We're going to start with Nova Scotia when I do this because you're on before I lose you again. So this is it. The Eastern Human Rights Conference is actually going to be in Moncton, and I don't know why I thought it was going to be in Halifax, but anyway, it's coming October 27th and 29th, 2026 in Moncton, together in solidarity. Have you heard about this, and are you excited?
Yes and yes. Yeah, I'm going to be there for sure. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. Number one, because human rights is such an important topic, especially these days, more so than ever. And also, it'll be great to spend some time in Moncton and connect with some brothers and sisters and comrades from CUPE New Brunswick, PEI, Newfoundland and Labrador. It's going to be a good time. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it is. And the other big one is the National Sector Council Conference. It's actually going to be held in Halifax, Nova Scotia on the 23rd and 26th of November. How excited are you about this?
Oh, I'm very excited about that. Yeah, that's huge for us here in Nova Scotia. And the Sector Council conferences are great. One of the first ever big national CUPE conventions I went to was a Sector Council conference in Winnipeg about 10 years ago now, and I learned so much. I was there as a healthcare worker, so of course I learned a lot from my fellow healthcare workers across the country. from people out for a lot of good, healthy conversations. We passing in between the different collaboration. I hope that it's the same in how November.
Yeah, it should be great. Well, we had them. But we lost them.
The sector conference is a great thing. Wes and I actually took part in it in Winnipeg just a few years ago ourselves, and it was our first time actually there.
Yeah.
And when you get together with all the different sectors, the education sector, transportation, you get all the different groups together. You're sitting with like-minded individuals who come and do the same line of work that you do. So it's a great way to collaborate and come up with ideas and talk about what's going on here in New Brunswick. Around that issue, and what you learn what's going on out here about that issue, and you learn what's going on there. So, when you have the ability to come together with CUPE members from across Canada, it's always a great thing. And the fact that it's so close to home, even better.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that. Okay, Matt, are you back with us? Matt's not back with us, guys. I'm sorry. I do want to talk about something else that's super exciting. That is the CUPE Health and Safety Conference coming up. That one is the closest, September the 18th and 19th. Come to the Credit Union Place in Summerside, PEI. Wes, I got to throw it at you because health and safety is something that you very much have taken a real passion to. What do you think of this?
National health and safety. Well, I wish we would have known about this a little sooner. I wouldn't mind seeing what that's about, but I think that's a great idea. Is open to members of maritime. So, health and safety in the workplace, like you said, is something that I've taken a more active role in the last previous months because one of our shop stewards has done it in the past but isn't able to do it now. So I think it's a good way for our members to get involved. I wouldn't mind seeing if maybe one or two of our members from our local could attend, if that's possible.
I'd like to see one or two members from every local attend.
Yep. Yeah. CUPE Health and Safety Conference is very important. And it's great that they're putting it on. It's not too far away. Summerside, PEI, beautiful place. The venue is absolutely incredible. The Credit Union Place. I'd like to see as many locals all across New Brunswick, all across Nova Scotia. Send your members. Again, this stuff is so important. I cannot say that enough, how important these sort of things are. So
there's a reason why we say stronger together, right?
That's right. Yeah, an injury to one is an injury to all.
And I'm just going to put this out there. You know how I know this is going to be a great event? Because it ends on my birthday, September the 19th. So if anybody wants to do presents, cake.
Presents and cake.
Absolutely. Just saying.
Listen to them. Oh my.
Just saying. But in all seriousness, health and safety, I mean, it's one of those things that, everybody should learn about. And there's a reason why we teach that at the Blair Doucet Youth Summer Camp is because health and safety, it's, with our young people going into the workplace, sometimes you think you're invincible. I remember working and climbing shelves and everything else thinking, I'm not going to get hurt and all this different stuff. And obviously now I would absolutely refuse to do that without proper, safety equipment. But it's, and it's not only with our young people. That happens in the workplace all the time where people do things and you think, I can't get hurt or, that won't happen to me until it happens.
Yeah.
So, why don't we go to break? But before we do, let's have George Lehman sing us out.
I got to explain this as well. Brother George Lehman from the BCTGM one of the longest people to attend the Blair Doucet Youth Summer Camp. I believe he's attended every single camp. And like I said, this camp is just over 20 years old. So he's been there since the inception. And George is known as the fun guy, but not to be confused for a mushroom.
I could see him saying that.
And one of the right. And one of the biggest things that, you know, aside from all the fun events and all the education and all the camaraderie that the kids learn, one of the biggest takeaways that they always remember is the George Lehman wake-up call. And George's wake-up calls, I'm telling you, I even spoke to the alumni of 1418, and she said that she wishes she could get this actually as her alarm to wake her up still, because it just brings back so many memories. So once you play this, anybody that's actually attended the camp or has any children that have attended the camp, get them to listen to this, and I'm sure it'll bring back a memory. Check this out.
Good morning, good morning. I slept the whole night through. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I slept the whole night through. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Oh, what a beautiful morning. Oh, what
Good morning,
a beautiful
sunshine.
day.
Slept well
I've
tonight.
got a wonderful feeling. Everything's going our way.
Good morning,
oh, what a beautiful day.
When St. John needs trusted, affordable, and fast automotive service, there's one name drivers count on Discount Tire and Automotive. Located at 255 Rothsay Avenue, they offer honest service from tires and brakes to general repairs. Customers choose them because they're quick, reliable, and upfront. For appointments, call 506-651-5723. Discount Tire and Automotive, keeping St. John rolling, one vehicle at a time. Proud official sponsor of the Member's Voice.
Quand Saint John a besoin d'un service automobile fiable, abordable et rapide, il y a un nom sur lequel les conducteurs comptent. Vos experts locaux qui gardent notre communauté en sécurité sur la route. Situé en plein cœur de la ville au 255 avenue Doucet, Discount Tire and Automotive s'est bâti une réputation pour son service honnête et ses prix équitables. Que vous ayez besoin de pneus, d'alignement ou de travaux de frein, leur équipe offre des résultats professionnels. Ils sont rapides, fiables et transparents, juste un service solide en qui vous pouvez avoir vos confiance.
Carrick's Barber and Artwork at 27 Waterloo Street in Uptown St. John is where style, creativity, and pure talent collide. Because Carrick isn't just a great barber, he's a full-on artist. Every fade, every lineup, every cut is done with precision and personality, and his artwork is just as impressive, bold, original pieces that bring color and attitude to any space. If you want a fresh look, a sharp cut, or custom art that stands out, Carrick delivers every time. Step into a shop with real skill, real vibe, and real creativity, Carrick's Barber and Artwork, where the cut is sharp and the art is even sharper.
Are you awake?
Yeah, this is your time to shine.
Well, for those that heard before the commercial, we played a clip of the George wake-up call. What's your take on it? Wes and I got to see it firsthand. I've heard it for a lot of years. What's your take on that?
He sang it to me at the CLC convention. Yes. I'm surprised he's never been on Canadian Idol. I think he could. You know what? People should record him and have that as an alarm.
Somebody call Howie Mandel.
Yes. Seriously.
But in all seriousness, though, like that is one of the things that kids love the most.
How could they not?
Is George's wake-up call, and about, you know, just how relaxed the camp is. And I mean, it shows you, you know, being shy at the beginning to one of the participants last year being like, "Hey, George, can I help you with the wake-up call?" It's like, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, the kids love it, and, you know, we love it too as counselors. We really do.
Well, I don't know how you couldn't. It's a great way to wake up the kids, energizing the kids. Yes, it's fun. Just good old fun.
Yeah.
And in today's world, God knows we need that. So good for George. He makes it a lot of fun.
On another note, I got permission from my wife, so I'll be there this year.
Well, there you, hey, Maybe you can help George do the wake-up call this year.
I'm looking forward to it. First time meeting George. What a ride, and what a tremendous union activist too.
Oh, definitely.
Coming up are the pride parades that we need to talk about here. July the 11th in Fredericton, July 25th in St. John, August 8th in Moncton, and September 20th in Miramichi. Come out and join us to celebrate. Last year, I was a part of the one in St. John, and it was huge. It was fun. Everybody had a good time, and I would recommend that you get out, enjoy it, have fun. And you know what? Wes, were you available? Were you at last year's
Pride Parade? No, I was not. I was in the hospital with my mother.
Okay. You were there.
I was. I
Yep.
worked with PSAC here in St. John.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And this year you'll be there again.
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't miss it. I've been there pretty well every single year.
Wes will be there.
We'll see.
The members' voice will be there.
Yes,
because the members are why we do this. And where better to stand and walk than with the members.
Right.
So the pride parades are all coming up this summer. Like I said, there's two in July, one in August, one in September. It's going to be an amazing summer of different activities, whether it's within CUPE, other unions. You know, the labor movement is strong and it shows. So, you know, here's to everyone that's going to be out and enjoying it. And if I may, I would like to just very quickly talk about the backdrops and how
That's it. No backdrops. God,
starting
bugging
next,
me.
I hope by Tuesday
Man.
next week they'll be here.
It's
New
going
backdrops, the members' voice, and don't listen to Wes. Say something nice.
Something nice.
Thank you. And of course,
Couldn't
you know,
say that any better myself.
no, really though. He says it well. What's going on with you for the Fed? Anything going on upcoming? Anything that you want to
So
let
I'll tell you
members know?
something that we just partook in, and it was different from an experience on our side, and I can just imagine what it was like on the participant side. But we just hosted the Governor General's Canadian Leadership Conference.
Okay.
There was people, Sister Iris Lloyd, CUPE New Brunswick president, took it. My first vice president, Catherine Little, NBNU, she took it. And there's other people as well. And this brought labor folk and business folk all across the different regions. We had Western Canada over here. And when we hosted this, we were like, you know, what are we going to talk about? Obviously, we're going to talk about the history of the Federation of Labor, because that's what, you know, we're hosting it. So we talked about the history of the Federation. I took them right from 1913 to where we are today.
Wow.
And talked about all the significant events throughout Canada and throughout history that we learn about, and how we helped workers and carried workers through and maintained that level of solidarity through all of these different generations. And we also had Sister Norma Robinson come in, first vice president for CUPE New Brunswick and provincial vice president for CUPE 1252, come in and talked about everything that took place during the 2021 general strike, and talked about the significance of that and what that meant to the membership. And then we also had our secretary treasurer, Nick Montet, come in, and he talked about privatization of services that we're seeing right now with our TIPS workers and everything. And then we had it all wrap up with a retired NBNU member, Maria Richard.
Nice.
So it was, you know, it was really interesting on our part to just see such a diverse group of people come together for this tour. But it, you know, taught us a lot too when we're thinking about how we're going to put the materials together. Because keep in mind, you know, we could sit there in ourselves and we could talk like we do here for, you know, for a long time, but we only had like an hour and 15 minutes to put all of this together into one thing. And we made it work, and we finished. They asked a few questions, and then they were told 2 minutes, the boss is leaving. So we timed it all perfectly.
Wow.
But I really want to thank everybody for helping me with that. But I really think that the participants who partook in that really had a great stop here in New Brunswick. I know they've had wonderful times over in the other stops as well, and it's something that's very, very memorable and very very emotional and things, and hopefully it's something that we maybe get to partake in the future.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. We also had our labor table, another meeting with the government, and also we have things coming up where we're trying to meet and discuss about how government can possibly help about with the Blair Doucet camp. We are going to be in Fredericton. How cool would it be to actually get a tour of the legislature or sit down, with the premier herself or the MLAs and talk about it? Because, when we do talk about political parts in the camp, we don't talk specifically about individual parties, but we talk about, making sure to get out and vote and, how your vote counts, because obviously voter turnout, I'll just go out and say it, pardon my language, but it's been shit in the last few years. Yep. Municipal elections, provincial elections, it doesn't matter. So, we try to teach the kids, the importance of making sure to listen to the platforms, get yourself educated, and make your vote count. So, we're trying to see, what they can do to help out with the camp. And we also reached out today, actually, I reached out to the Lieutenant Governor as well to see what we can do with there, because we have the government house as well. So there's just all kinds of different things we're working on, for our resolutions, all of our coalition groups. We got a convention coming up in a year. Yep. So our convention planning committee will be getting together here soon. We've already got some stuff in the works there. So lots of different things on the go.
Wow. There's a lot of different things on the go.
And it being convention season too. So you're here, there, and everywhere. As best you can. Sometimes you can't make them all, but you try your best, or you try to show up for at least half the day or something. And,
that's right.
But
I might let Wes and Chris take us out tonight, but I do want to quickly say that in upcoming episodes, I do plan to try to get some national officers on. As everyone knows, September 11th to the 13th in Winnipeg, Manitoba, it is the Dollars and Cents Conference, something I have attended, something that is a big deal, and there's plenty to learn. So stay tuned for that. And of course, Iris Lloyd has been a little bit busy. I'm going to try to sit down with her in the near future to discuss how her plans are going and what she's been up to. I got lots of stuff that I want on the agenda, but it's not always that easy. So stay tuned for that. And of course, as always, we're back here each and every Tuesday, and we look forward to next week.
That's your cue.
Yeah, that was your cue to do your part.
Would you like me to lead us out?
Of course.
Okay. Well, everybody, that's our show again for this week. For Chris. President, I'm going to introduce you, President of New Brunswick Federation of Labor, Christopher Watson. Nicholas, as he likes to be called, London. And me, Wes Wells. I'd like to thank you for joining us this evening, and we hope to see you all next week. Solidarity, everyone.
Thank you for tuning in to the first episode of The Member's Voice.